Hey, what's up, Dividend Nomads? Welcome back to the channel. Today is that time of the week again where I cover my Roth IRA portfolio. And if you're not familiar with the Roth IRA, it's basically like in a retirement, like a personal retirement account that you can open and fund yourself. And it has a limit like $7,500 per year is all you're allowed to put in it. But it is tax-free, like you can withdraw the money tax-free, but not until you're like 59 and a half years old, which is stupid. I don't know why it's not 59 or 60, but anyway, I can't touch this till I'm 60, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to share it with you guys today. I'm going to show you what's in the portfolio, how I'm growing this portfolio, how I've shifted my strategy, and as well as the actual goals of this portfolio. So I'm going to share that with you today. I did do some things here, and I might be making some changes in it also in the near future. So I'm going to share all that with you in today's video. So first, we're going to dive into the phone, check out the portfolio in the brokerage account. Then I'm going to take you into my spreadsheet, share with you behind the scenes and what's been going on in the portfolio, as well as the changes I might make. And I did sell some covered calls here as well. So I'm going to share all that stuff with you guys in today's video. So let me record the screen on my phone here. 3, 2, 1, bam. Let's open up Charles Schwab. My Roth IRA is in Charles Schwab. Let me go to the home page here. Okay, anyway, so I just refresh it for you guys. The market is closed right now because this is Saturday afternoon. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in China. So anyway, let's get into it. Right now, let me just go down here and open up this full positions thing. So right now you can see my account value is $54,545. And if we go down here, first thing you're going to see here are the positions I'm going to share with you. The first 3 positions here, it says equity. So these are my regular single stocks, and I only have 3. And these 3 are a small percentage of the portfolio. And they're basically like long-term lottery tickets. They're things that I think have potential to do well over the next several years. And I only have a small position in these, but I do have enough so I can still cover costs to earn some income on it as well. So if these do get called away, not a big deal. I made some income and made some profit. And if they don't, that's fine too, because I'm willing to hold these for a long period of time. So first one you see is Rigetti. This is a quantum computing company. I have 100 shares there. The next one you see is SoundHound, which is an AI company, which more focuses on like voice generated AI. And they're like the leader in the voice AI space. And I believe they have a lot of potential over the next, 10 to 15 years, which I can't touch this for, more than 15 years. So not a bad idea to do that kind of thing here. The next one you see is WeRide, which is a Chinese company. And I know a little bit about this company because I am living in China, and I've been living in China for 16 years. So I know a little bit about how a lot of the businesses work here in China in terms of, what is the future is going to be here in China. I know a little bit about those things. So I don't mind investing in companies like this. The next one you see down here are my ETFs and closed-end funds. So firstly, this is a mix of income and growth, and for different reasons. Like I mentioned, I can only put $7,500 a year into this portfolio. But if I have stocks in here or ETFs that generate income, I can use that income to basically have more than the $7,500 that I can put in here. So I'm getting income every week or every month, and I can use that income to buy more growth stocks or more positions and things that are going to grow and help the portfolio grow over time. So that's the plan with the income plays. So for income right now, I have MSTY, which is the MicroStrategy income ETF. It provides a lot of income, but also has a lot of price decline or NAV decline. So you have to be careful with this. And I'll take you into the spreadsheet, share with you the details about that in a minute. Anyway, the next one you see is XDTE, which is a weekly paying 0 DTE option income ETF. It's based on the S&P 500. So having index exposure is very good, and especially if you're getting income from the index, you don't have too much downside risk, and you get income every single week. So these 2 right here, I'm using to basically the dividends to buy more growth stocks. So the next one you see is SCHB, which is the broad market. It's basically the entire stock market. And this one is where I get a lot of the growth. Where I get like the regular days gains and growth in the portfolio comes from SCHB. The next one is SCHG, which again is like large cap, big tech growth stocks. And this is another portion. This is where I get the biggest growth actually in the portfolio is from this particular play, but it also can be volatile because it's a lot of NASDAQ based stuff. So it could be a little bit more volatile than the SCHB play, but it still has a lot of growth built in. And over the long term, this should help me grow the portfolio. The next one you see is another income play, which is QQQI. And this is basically where I get high income distributions from the NASDAQ. And this one also has growth potential, more so than the other income stocks that I have, but not a large amount of growth, but it does have growth potential, but with pretty good income. And this one pays every single month. And then lastly, down here at the bottom, like I said, I sold some covered calls on my lottery ticket plays to earn some income from those that don't generate income. So I sold a covered call on SoundHound, I sold one on Rigetti, and I sold one on WeRide, which you need 100 shares of something to sell a covered call. And if you look up here, you can see that's why I bought exactly 100 shares and no more, no less. It's kind of just like, let these grow over long term, but make a little bit of money from them. So lastly, if you look at the very, very bottom, I have some cash and cash investments, which is SWVXX, which is a money market fund. It's basically like a high yield savings account pretty much. It's $1 per share and it never changes. It's always $1. Even if the stock market crashes, this thing will stay $1. And it generates about 4% yield annually, but it pays every single month, but the yield accumulates every single week. And then at the end of the month, they pay you that out. And so I have $5,000 in there, and this is basically sit on drip. So any interest that I make on this, it just goes right back into it. And then I have a small cash position of cash that I can use right now, $4,838. So that's what's in the portfolio. Now we're gonna go into the spreadsheet and see how this portfolio is actually performing. And I'll share with you guys some thoughts about future plans and things like that in regards to this portfolio, as well as my goal for this portfolio. So let me record the screen on my computer and take you into the spreadsheet. 3, 2, 1, bam. All right, so here we are in my spreadsheet for this portfolio. And let me make it bigger. It's a little bit hard to see, I think. Hopefully you guys can see this. So these are all the stocks that I just showed you in my portfolio. So nothing has changed here. I share with you guys everything, the good stuff and the bad stuff, all the mistakes I make and the stupid crap I do. I share all that with you guys. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes. But anyway, here's all the stocks that I just showed you in the portfolio. Here's all the number of shares. Everything's the same, my cost averages. But again, the cost average I have doesn't really matter to you. It matters what you buy it at, because it's going to be different for you. The performance will be different for you than it is for me based on the price you buy the stocks at, right? But anyway, all the information is here in my spreadsheet. But what's more important to share with you guys is the return, like how these are actually performing. So let's go look at that, and I'll get it all on the screen here for you guys again. So and talk to you guys more about my strategy and goals with the portfolio. So you can see here the first one at the top with the blue box around it, Rigetti. You can see here the returns is positive all across the board and a 32% total return. And I've only had this for 1 month now. So 32% return in a month is pretty good, especially on like this lottery ticket type play. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm quite surprised by the performance of this one. The next one, you see blue box around it again, MSTY Misty. This is my high income, like income boost, where I get some income into the portfolio to buy more of the growth stuff. And now my spreadsheet's acting crazy. It doesn't like to be like increased in size for some reason. I don't know what's wrong with this thing, but it's, whatever. I didn't make this, so. Anyway, MSTY market return is negative, but the total return is positive. So if I sold this, I'd walk away with more money than I started with. And the total return is 24%. So not bad overall total return. But I've been noticing this, that the dividends and the price has been going down considerably. And I have a lot of experience with the Yield Max funds. And a lot of them, they start out with a super high dividend distribution. And then it starts dwindling down as the price goes down. And eventually the dividend distribution goes down further than the price, and the price can't compete. And basically what happens is your total return starts shrinking. And that seems to be kind of the direction MSTY is heading in right now. And if it continues to do that, if it drops below $1 per share distribution, I'll probably cut this and swap it for something else. So I'm keeping my eye on it closely. The next one that you see here is SCHB. And as I mentioned earlier, this is where I get my growth. And this is a brand new position for me. Right now, you can see it is positive all across the board, and it's positive by 4.5%. So I'm not doing too bad. XDTE, again, is my S&P 500 income play. This pays me every single week, and I can use that money every single week to grow the portfolio, whether it be adding more shares of XDTE to generate more income or moving the income somewhere else. And right now, the total return you can see is 3.37%. So basically, I have a simple rule that I follow that I just made up myself. But once my total return is 4% or higher, and my thing's messing up again. What the hell? Sorry, guys, man, this stupid thing. Anyway, as I was saying, hopefully you guys can see this stupid thing. Once my position, total return, you see the blue box there. Once it's 4% or higher, I turn off the drip function and I harvest those dividends and spend them on other things. So this one is almost to the point where I'm going to turn the drip off and start putting that income into other things. I've been doing that with everything else in the portfolio, because you can see they're all over 4%, but this one is the only one that is below 4%. So I need to hopefully in the next couple weeks or maybe month, this will be over 4%, and I can turn the drip off and start using the income for other stuff. The next one, SCHG. This is where I get the majority of the growth from, but this is brand new, so it's going to take some time to do its magic, but 5.5% is the return. QQQI, mentioned this one to you guys also. This is my NASDAQ exposure, income exposure, and a little bit of growth. And you can see this is positive all across the board. We don't have this negative market returns like we do in the other income plays, but this income play is positive across the board, and it is almost 5%. So that's pretty good, happy with that. Then the last two, SoundHound and WeRide, these are just my lottery ticket plays, as I mentioned, but I do sell cover calls to generate income. So you can see SoundHound, 38.3% return, and WeRide is 8.6% return. So this entire portfolio is positive. Everything is doing good in terms of total return. And yeah, so I could liquidate this whole entire portfolio if I wanted and walk away with more money than I started with. Now, what is the goal of this portfolio actually? Because you guys know, who've been watching this channel, I live here in Asia. I've been living here for almost 20 years in Asia. I live in the Philippines, and I live here in China for like 16 years. And my plan actually is to just continue staying in Asia pretty much forever, I guess, for my entire life. It's cheap to live here. I like the culture here. I like everything about living in Asia. And I use some of my portfolios to fund my lifestyle here. And so if I, don't want to do anything and just want to live off my portfolios, I can. So, but the goal of this portfolio is to actually increase my lifestyle when I'm older instead of decreasing. So a lot of people, the older they get, especially when they get into retirement, they have to decrease their lifestyle because they don't have as much money as they did when they were working a job. But because, I live quite frugally and minimalistic, which is just the way I like to live, but my lifestyle is already pretty good. And my portfolio keeps growing. Even if I use the dividends to live off of, I can still have money left over to grow the portfolio because I choose to live in cheap places and things like that. So as I get older, once I get 60 years old and I can actually use this portfolio and use this money from this portfolio, I can increase my life instead of, the lifestyle going down. I can have an even higher quality life if I choose to do so. So that's the goal of this portfolio. And as I get closer to 60, the age of being able to take money from this portfolio without being penalized, I will start moving more of the growth stuff into more income to generate more monthly income. But right now I want to grow as much as possible, but also want to keep the income so I can put more in here than the $7,500 per year. So that's how I'm using this portfolio. And if you look at the allocation here, you can see, hopefully, let me make this over here again. I'm going to show you guys the allocation. So you see Rigetti here, 2.8% of the portfolio. So my lottery ticket plays are only small portions of the portfolio because they can be very risky, and I don't want to put a huge portion in those. But they do have potential to go to the moon, but I'm not going to like gamble with a huge, huge amount of money on these. So you can see 2.5%, 1.72, and 2.8 are my lottery ticket plays. Now my income play, this one is out of weight. I need to cut this really, to be honest, and move it somewhere else. 31%, and this one single ticker is not good, especially if it's a single stock and not index based or something like that. So I really do need to cut this down and get into something more diversified. SCHB, 11%, and you can see SCHG, my two growth plays, make up only 22%, 23% of this portfolio, and they should be more like 50 to 60%, maybe even 70%. So I need to cut this Misty down and put some of that money to work in these ones that actually have more potential to grow. So that's a mistake that I've made and something that I need to change. And I'm slowly trying to work my way into that position. So that's that plan. XDTE is 17, 18% of the portfolio. It's a little bit high, but I mean, I wouldn't mind it being maybe 15%. Maybe I would say in terms of my income plays, you can see I have 17.9, so 18%, 4% here, and 30% here. So I have two large positions here. I have 30, 40, almost 50% in income, and it should be more like 20 to 30%. I wouldn't mind having 30% income and 70% growth. So I need to switch things around a little bit, and I'm slowly trying to do that. And that's my plan going forward, is to slowly shift into more of that, but still keep income. So lastly, let's go look at the dividends and see how much I've got paid recently in this portfolio and how that's doing. So you can see all the stock tickers here at the top. Misty is the only one that I've had for a long time. I've had it since 2024. And these other ones are pretty much new positions because I basically liquidated this entire portfolio and started all over again from scratch. So that's why all these are down here in 2025, because I just recently started this and I sold everything else I had. So right now, let me make this bigger. In August, which is this month, Rigetti, let me get everything on the screen here. So Rigetti right here, you can see on the far left, I sold cover calls on this just last week. They're expired worthless, so I did make money, but not much money, but I made $5 in income last week. So this week I'm going to open up new positions and make some more money. So maybe, maybe $40, $50 a month or something like that, $60, $70 a month, something like that might be what I make. It depends on how much the premiums are and what options I decide to sell. But at least $20, $25 a month from this one, from selling options, is what I should get. So we still got 4 more weeks to go. Misty paid me $980 so far. I will get one more payment from them. Hopefully it's $1 again or more, so it can match this, which would put me, $1,800 this month in Misty if it gets a good payment. But I don't want to speculate what's going to happen in the future. SCHB does not pay every month; it pays quarterly, and it doesn't pay much. So I'm not going to get paid from them until September, I guess. XDTE so far has paid me $107. It does pay every single Friday pretty much, unless there's like a holiday or something. So I will get 2 or 3 more payments from them this month. So this should be around $200 this month. Not bad. SCHG, same thing with SCHB. I'm not going to get paid this month. That'll be in September, I believe. QQQI pays every single month towards the end of the month. So I think I bought a couple more shares. So this dividend should be more than the $19.25 last month. It should be over $20 this month, hopefully. So I'm waiting on that one. And then we have SoundHound and WeRide. Again, they don't pay, but these are options premiums I collected. So I track that so I know how much money I've made with the stock and how much income I'm producing in the portfolio. And it also lowers my cost average. So I put all the information in here. So SoundHound paid me $5.34 last week. Not a big deal, but every little bit helps. And WeRide paid me $7.34 last week. So these are the cover call options that I sold. So I made $10, $15 last week selling options on these lottery ticket plays. So what does that look like for the entire month? So far, I've made $1,106 in income from this portfolio, but I still have some payments coming. You know, XDTE is going to pay me 3 more times, 4 more times. I'll sell more options. Misty should pay me 1 more time. QQI is going to pay me. So I should get over $2,000 this month in this portfolio in income, which is pretty good. So you can see right now, so far, I've collected $11,000 this year in income. It's just an income, not factoring in the growth. So portfolio is growing. It's doing pretty good. I'm not taking this money out. It just goes right back into the portfolio because I can't take it out. And that's what's going on here in my Roth IRA portfolio. So hope you guys like the video. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you actually have some type of retirement account set up? Do you have a 401k or a Roth IRA or some vehicle you're investing in towards your retirement, towards your future, other than just a regular taxable brokerage account? Let me know that in the comments below. I'm curious how many of you guys are actually saving up for your future in this way. And that's really all I got for you guys today. Do have a course coming out little by little, so you can check that out if you want to see the course on how I actually created this life of freedom and all the things that I do. The course covers everything from minimalism, frugality, investing. It covers other things too, like the mindset, like how I overcame depression and things like that. Things about having a clear mind to actually use your mind and mental capacity to do things like investing and creating passive income through businesses and doing things you love and things like that. So everything's going to be there in the course, 100% for free. Check that out. And if you want to know more about my life here in Asia and just whatever random crap pops in my mind, I make videos about that on my other channel. I think there's like 7,000 subscribers over there, but it's nothing special. I just kind of film candid videos, walk and talk crap. Just whatever's on my mind usually comes out of my mouth over there on that channel. And yeah, that's it. I'll leave all that stuff down below. You can check it out if you want. And I'll see you guys next time, man. Y'all take care. Have a good one.